Hello, you guys and girls. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad. And tonight's live stream is going to be about what do we need to know as of this moment. And if you had paid attention to the thumbnail, you observed it, you would have saw 3 cards there. The deck that I'm using doesn't really expresses what those 3 cards are by the picture itself, because it's a colorful deck, but yet the pictures has nothing to do with the tradition. Anyway, the first card that I drew for tonight's live stream and tonight's topic, that is the Star card. Followed by the second one, which is the 5 of Cups. And the third card we do have, that will be the King of Cups. Okay, so we do have these 3 cards. And it's a bit of a complicated message to convey from the cards itself. Now, because we do have the Star card as the first one, that pretty much speaks that, you know, what we need to know, it is that very soon, the next few days, things are gonna get easier. That doesn't necessarily mean, oh my god, it's difficult to express it. Doesn't necessarily means that things are hard right now. It's just things are gonna start moving forward, let's put it that way, into any department. And because it's linked with the 5 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles of each side of the Star card, that pretty much means that it's gonna touch us. Okay, even topics that we care less about, they also are going to kind of like touch us emotionally, I mean. And this emotional tenderness, for a lack of better expression, it's going to make us a bit careless of a moving forward. Now, luckily for us, if those cards are to be believed, at least for the next few days, it's highly unlikely to find any, let's say, indomitable problems to face. And thus, even though being a bit careless, you know, moody, even some of us will, if you wish, flying the cloud 9, kind of like being oblivious for any kind of mistakes that one can make moving forward with their deeds. After the next few days, you know, things may shift. So we just have to take all that with a grain of salt and don't take for granted that, you know, things are going to get smooth, or rather like things are going to move smooth from now on moving forward. Now, what can get better? Well, under the energy of the Star card, pretty much everything that we assign to our ideals and as well our standards. So, for example, if your ideal for a good life is to have a lot of money, then the money department is going to get better. If you have an ideal that's, you know, a good life is when you are loved, then your love life is going to get better, the career and whatnot. But what you need to also keep in mind under the energy of these cards is that this is a slow process, all right? It's not going to happen just overnight. So the manifestation of these cards, for example, it could be some kind of a very lucrative business idea that you should start developing, or some kind of an introduction from which, you know, an unfolding love could emerge, and so on and so forth. So we all need to be open for every opportunity in front of us, but simultaneously kind of like be objective about it. That is also very, very important. All right, so with that said, this concludes the general one, the general reading for the collective one. And now a few notes before I move forward. It is that there are going to be 12 readings, one for each star sign. I'm going to start from Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. And bear in mind that these are readings for the star signs, and while, you know, they're going to affect you in a certain way, depending on which star sign you are, where is your ascendant as well, your rising sign, where is your, where does your moon is as well. Hello, Living Dead Girl, welcome to the stream. It's seldom that these readings for the star signs are going to give you concrete or direct answer to your questions. If they do, good for you. But if they don't, and you do wish me to interpret for your own personal situation, you can always go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see full list of my services and as well their pricing. And if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support us via Super Chat or via PayPal, which link as well you will find in the description down below of the video, you will have your reading at the end of the stream as well. And should your contribution carries no inquiry with it whatsoever, then the reading is going to be about what you should personally need to know right now. If you do have an inquiry, obviously I'm going to interpret for the inquiry you have. So with that said, starting up with the first star sign, that is going to be Aries. You can track which star sign I'm reading for by observing the glyph being on my right hand side over here. Okay, so let me shuffle. Morning, Mandy. Glad to have you around. So you're in Australia? All right, the first one for Aries, that is going to be the Emperor. The second card, that is a Two of Pentacles. And the third one we do have, that is Judgment. These three cards. And it's a pretty simple interpretation for Aries. It's an uncharted world for me, okay? If there is a place I want to visit, this is Japan, Australia, probably New Zealand. And these are on the top of my list because it's kind of like uncharted world. Anyway, back to Aries, a pretty simple interpretation. It's if they haven't already, very, very soon in the next few days, there will be new circumstances around you that will allow you to gain control, so to speak. So if your love life is out of control, that is where it's going to manifest. If your career is out of control, that is where it's going to manifest. You know, if your money are out of control as well. And what is going to be, how can I put it into words? What is going to be specific about these things or these new circumstances? It is that they're going to be perfect. You know, people do have options available in front of them for the most of the time for about everything, but these options available that are in front of us, they always carry some kind of a compromise. You know, you will have to kind of like abandon one thing for another and so on. But with this, it's going to be a perfect one. It's going to make a perfect sense. It's almost going to feel like an escape route, a jail-free card, so to speak. So you may ask then, you know, well then where is the flip side, right? Is there anything unpleasant about it? Well, I don't know how unpleasant it is, but it just is going to be a devouring procedure. So it will require, Aries, your consistency. It will require as well your discipline. If you aren't disciplined, then everything goes down in flames pretty much for you, for us, that it is connected to these new circumstances. So you will find yourself being quite occupied in the next few days, having no time whatsoever to make any rearrangements and reshifts for your plans. But you will be rewarded with almost a total control over your life. Oh, that's awesome. Wellness energy. You're a lucky one. All right, next we do have Taurus. Uh, King of Pentacles. Yeah, I thought so. I remember I was reading for a woman that was in the army in Japan, if that's you. Seven of Pentacles, it is the second one. And we do have the High Priestess. All right, so in between these three, and I cannot guarantee that it's going to be true for all of you, okay? But it's very likely that you either already have met or you are about to meet a person who will connect with you on almost every emotional level possible, right? It's in between these two. I mean, the King of Pentacles, High Priestess, and basically that person will have no, and how do you call it in English? All right, so their intentions. Their intentions, as far as it goes to you personally, you will, how can I put it into words? They're going to be genuine and pure. Of course, from that whole thing, that person always have something to gain, but their gain ain't going to be anything of your expense, right? So for example, they will gain happiness, but it's not going to be on an expense of your happiness. Or they will gain settlement, but it's not going to be on an expense of, again, your happiness and your well-being. And yeah, I mean, if you wonder if that could be your soulmate, a very good chance, but again, that is for your star sign, so it may not manifest that way. The way that can personally manifest these three cards for you, it is that you will consolidate your current undertakings, for a lack of better expression, to a point that you are now going to feel ready to start something new, or at least researching what else you can start doing about your career, about your love life, and whatnot, in a way that you are not gonna have to risk it, and simultaneously is going to provide results no matter, pretty much no matter what. So it's kind of like a safe bet, or rather what you need to know on a personal level is that you are making a safe bet right now, and on a social level it is that you are with the woman or with the guy, depending on your preferences. I don't think I do recall, Mika. I should have been a long time ago. Hello, Yarabi. Welcome to the stream. Right, next, Gemini. The Tower for Gemini. Page of Swords. Seven of Cups. It's a pretty simple message. Okay. Whatever the arguments right now, these three cards, whatever the arguments, whatever the fights, okay, whatever the disagreements, don't matter, right? It's just these arguments or disagreements or fights or scandals you are going through right now, no matter how big or how small they are, they will first not gonna make any difference whatsoever for the future, and there will be no winners from them. I mean, neither you will be convinced in the foreign point of view, neither the foreigner or the alien is going to be convinced over your point of view. So it's a pointless battle. That's what you need to know. So instead, it will be best if you do focus on the far future rather than the day after tomorrow, so to speak, and the involvement of the person or these people who are making you feel uneasy. Hello, Shanna. Hello, Eve. Welcome to the stream. And that is your message. And by the way, if you do plan to cut some people off your life right now, do it for a good reason, according to these cards, not just because you feel like it. Because that is also a contact point where those fights and arguments could come from. It's just you decide to cut someone off, they start hating you, okay, and they start causing problems. Right, next, Cancer. The Hermit. Three of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. These three cards. All right. What you need to know it is that you are currently associating yourself, for the most part, that is, again, with the right people, people who can support you, people who can help you even if you do need help, people whom with you can have a very fruitful discussions, very productive cooperations as well. And in generally what you can produce with that team, it could be a circle of 2, or it could be a team of 5 and 7 or whatever, okay? Depending on, are you working, for example, with just only one partner, or you are a part of a team, right? Or you just have only one friend or a circle of friends, whatever the case. But what you can produce in the next few days, maybe in the next few weeks, according to these cards with these people, it's gonna be very substantial, very essential actually for you, and also, you know, how you do for your well-being and for your life as well. And under the energy of these cards as well, now those who are just a dead weight for you and for your life, okay, that has no contribution other than just, you know, devouring of your time, these people are going to start falling off the platter. Okay, so they're going to start having less and less influence and reason to be around you. On top of that, but there is one thing that can really kind of like ruin these beautiful cooperations for you, and that is a lack of responsibility. So from your side, that is. So no matter how big or a small thing we're talking about here, or you are facing currently right now within the team or within the cooperation, okay, you always strive to be responsible and take responsibilities for your actions and also as well for your inactions. Because otherwise, it's the whole this beautiful cooperation is just gonna fall apart. All right, next, that will be Leo. The Empress. Hello, T. Welcome to the stream. Three of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. Give me a moment. Yeah, the B. Thank you for the 20 US dollars. Thank you, yeah, the B. Lovely cards you're gonna have. So what do you need to know about your love life? That's what's gonna be your reading about at the end of the stream, of course. Thank you again for the 20. It's a difficult to interpret message for Leo, so I do hope that I can get the point across without confusing you guys. So what do you need to know? It is that you do need to withdraw from the midst of your activities, because currently, at least for according to these cards, your opinion and as well your lean. And when I do say lean, I mean leaning toward one side or another in terms of choosing what to do and how to go about certain stuff. According to these cards, is biased. And you do need to take a bit of a break, few days, all right? Just so you can again withdraw from the midst of all these activities, and you can kind of adopt a objective view, sight perspective, if you will, over the situation, so you can decide what to do about it in a mature fashion rather than emotional one, and as well you can reach a decision that's it's going to be well found and very balanced. For example, if you do wonder, should you stay or go, maybe it's time to give yourself a bit of a break and withdraw from that relationship for a week or two, just so you can see, do you miss that person? And if you don't, then the choice is obvious. I mean, uh, and another thing that you do need to know is that right now you cannot lean on the thought that, you know, whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen, because these cards are adamant you are going to reap what you sow, whether it is bitter or sweet. So your faith in the next few days or weeks, it will be determined by your actions. So make sure that they are mature and well-found actions. All right, next, that will be Virgo. Eight of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. It's a simple message for Virgo, and you can say it in many ways, right? One of the ways it is that the best is yet to come. It's the message. Basically, what these cards are describing here is that the solidity and the security of your life, it does not reside in the current situation you are in, right? It resides in the future. So there is still what yet to happen in order to make you believe that, for example, your business can work out, or your love life can work out, or your career can work out, or your, friendships can work out as well. But also, it kind of shows, these cards are showing that, and I can be crucified for that because no one likes to hear it, but according to these cards, a big portion of why certain situations you are finding yourself in right now are not fulfilling, it is because of you, and you do need to change certain aspects, the way you are addressing those situations. For example, the way you address your responsibilities, you address people you're interested in, right? Or you address how you go about your career, and so on and so forth. So think on that in the next few days, how you can change your lifestyle in a way that is going to suit you better. Yeah, if you think, Virgo, that you are in the rock bottom, you aren't, and actually you are climbing it, even if you may not realizing it right now. Hello, Zebra, welcome to the stream. Angela too, welcome to the stream. So next, that will be Libra. Two of Pentacles. Three of Swords. Two of Cups. Anna, thank you for the 20 US dollars. Thank you, Anna. The end of the stream, you're gonna have your personalized reading of what do you need to know right now. So according to these cards, Libra, your recent, well, they may not, well, it is a choices. So your recent decisions, good evening, Anna, to I would say it that way, to change your plans so things around you can become a bit more calmer, okay, and a bit more like livable. Peaceful is the word that I was searching for. To become a bit more peaceful are good choices. What I mean is that you may, and most likely is that you may have decided to behave and address with certain people in a different way than you have addressed and behaved right now, in hope that these people are going to kind of like become milder, in hope that these people will become more reasonable. And you may be afraid that it is not the right kind of like approach, but according to these cards, it is the right approach. And the other thing that you should know about it is that whatever opinion of yours right now is changing about people in particular, about your boss or about your person of interest, okay, or kind of like about even, you know, your career, most likely people, but it could be also about a subject. It's changing in the right direction. That is also something you should need to know about. All right, next. That will be Scorpio. The Chariot, the World, the Hierophant. It is, the message is very simple. It is finally happening, okay? Whatever you Scorpio gnash your teeth about, and you just power yourself through life, keeping it the way it is. Imagine it that way, okay? You had a view for some kind of a relationship that everybody told you that that is impossible. For example, and I will give myself for example, all right? Because my vision for a relationship is a relationship of a freedom. You are allowed to do anything you want, as I am allowed to do so as well. And if we can kind of like be together in it, that would be great, right? I don't have to make compromises with you. You don't have to make compromises with me. But I'm not trying to bend you on my will, neither you try to do so as well. If you have something in me that kind of like annoys you, well, that's your problem, not mine, right? So that is, and you deal with it on your own, not on my expense. So that is, and vice versa as well. So that is kind of like my vision for a relationship. Which kind of like everybody tells me that that is impossible, but it doesn't have to be a relationship as well. So it's finally happening. Okay, that is for a Scorpio, kind of like what Scorpio needs to know about. It is that very soon, in the next few days, they're gonna reach a point of a, okay, let's put it that way, a wish fulfillment that Scorpio are gonna feel extremely proud about. It's a huge chapter. Screw the chapter, it's a huge book being closed because it is already written and read successfully. And from there, Scorpio, it will serve you best. It will serve us best if we do kind of like open another. What I mean is that move toward another perspective, kind of like new perspective, because this one is pretty much in the bag and we don't have to think of it anymore in terms of are we going to lose it or not, because it's kind of like pretty much in the bag. So that is for Scorpio. Next, that will be Sagittarius. Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's Nine of Wands. The High Priestess. Seven of Pentacles. It's a big stir, right? That these cards are showing a big stir around you. In the I don't know if it's going to be. Hold on a second. I don't know if it's going to be a stir in the circumstances or in the conditions that you are dealing with right now. It's very possible to be in both, because what the stir is going to allow you to do is kind of like make rearrangements, for lack of better expression, like change your routine, like reshuffle your schedule. Okay, it's kind of like change the way things are, so you can accustom them better to you, right? So that this is where you do kind of like reshape your day-to-day routine, if you will, and the responsibilities and the tasks that you deal on daily basis in a way that is going to suit you better with them. That is the stir that you are going to experience in the next few days, and it is highly advisable for you to move into that direction. But in some aspects of it, it will require from you to kind of like over invest right now. What I mean is that to invest more than you will gain immediately from it. But according to the cards, think of it like a deposit. Okay, you deposit more now so you can reap more in the future, but not right now. You're welcome, Amanda. All right. Next, that will be Capricorn. The Empress, the Sun, the Strength. So the message for you and what you need to know is that right now it isn't about you. Okay, it's about what's fair. Well, fair is not the real word that it should be used, because it may not be fair for you. We're talking about a globally fair, right? Uh, it's definitely not a time for you to be selfish, but also not a time for you to be selfless. It's time for you to be kind of like, I'll use again the word mature. And also, it's time to kind of like put a hold and tame your passion as well. Just kind of like, according to these cards, you may be blinded by the good time certain people or certain things provide for you, and that blindness, it's kind of like beguiling you into a state or into situations that you have, basically you are led by your nose in them, right? And that is what you need to know. And obviously that is something that you should kind of like sever yourself from, or kind of like stop it, so you regain control over your decision making, because that is what is at stake here. Okay, the decision making. These cards are saying that there are certain influences which are trying to make choices for you, and it's best if you do regain control over it, instead of kind of like becoming a victim of the circumstances further down the road in the future. And these influences, they work through your happiness and through your passion as well. For example, presenting a goal that seemingly will make you happy, and they are presenting it in a way to ignite your passion, and without too much of a thought, you jump into it, and basically you are fighting someone else's battle or someone else's war, or any way you name it. And the thing it is that according to these cards, if there are any negative things that are coming out of it, it is you that will have to suffer through them, not those that have beguiled you into it. So don't, well, it is not even being acquiesced into them, because, you know, the way presented, you would want to be a part of what is presented. It's just question your want. That is what these cards are asking from you. All right, next, Aquarius. Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, the Fool. All right, these three cards. And they refer, actually, I never saw those two together. Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. I never saw those two together. They identify a handicap. Or kind of like that you will find yourself in a handicap, or at least seemingly in a handicap. So what is most likely that is going to happen is that you will find yourself being forced prematurely to start something, whether start a plan, whether say something you have planned to say on the exact time, on in front of a correct person, but now the situation is gonna press you. Okay, it's just you're gonna be pressed to make a move that you wouldn't feel ready making it, and that will be that is the handicap itself. Okay, and you will kind of like feel that you are behind on the whole thing, right? That the time is moving ahead of you. But what you need to know is that you very, very quickly are gonna catch up if you maintain your composure. And it's kind of like having a sense of emergency. That is what it is asked here, rather than being nonchalant about the whole thing. All right, whether it is within your love life or within your career. And by the way, when we're talking about a love life, that may cut you with your pants down, because imagine you not being ready yet to start dating someone, and certainly a very good friend of yours introduce you with to her cousin, or a friend of her, or a girlfriend of her, whatever your preference is, right? And kind of like it urges you, or presents the whole situation that you just can't say no right away, right? And kind of like you feel your hand being forced, start dating while you're not feeling ready, and you promise a date, you go out on that date, and actually you do find that you're having a good time. It is that it was not that bad. So the handicap quickly kind of like reverses into a smooth experiences, because that's what's gonna happen. It's just the start of it. The circumstances around the start itself are gonna feel like a handicap. And last but not least, that will be Pisces. Uh, Knight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Seven of Swords. All right, so it's a bit of a warning, and the warning it is that you are moving a bit too fast. Hello, Gladys. Welcome to the stream. So the warning is that you are moving a bit too fast through your options available, burning them out before realizing their full potential. And it's just kind of like a warning or a guidance, if you will, to take a bit more time with the people you're working with, or kind of like with the opportunities in front of you into your career, right? Or with your friends, with your person of interest, with your husband or wife, etc., etc. Because there is that possibility that you do run out of options, and the thing is that you won't be able to backtrack as well, kind of take on previous options that you so carelessly and recklessly scratched away. They will be pretty much gone. And that's why it is important to take your time and weigh it properly into the scale against the results that you are expecting. And two more things. Okay, two more things. Once you do end up with, or rather like how you can recognize a good option in front of you under the energy of these cards. Well, two conditions. Now, the first one, it is that when you think of it, imagine the worst that you can go through taking that option. And if the worst is something you can't handle, that is going to make you pull back, then that is not your option. Your option is the option that no matter what, you are kind of like determined to see it through. Again, no matter what. And the second condition is that the option in front of you, or the option is available for you only then when it serves your purpose, not someone else's purpose, your purpose. So yeah, these are times, or rather like the next few days are times where you have to think for yourself. You gotta put yourself first and foremost. Oh my God, 5 years ago, I certainly don't remember. But I hope you were satisfied from it. Hello there, user. Welcome to the stream. All right, so that was Pisces. Now, super chat. First, gotta be something you need to know about your love life is the topic. So can you just tell me, what are you in a relationship, or what are you single? It's important for me to know. For the cards, that is. Because they do interpret differently depending on, are you involved or are you not? All right, wait. You hate being single? Well, that ain't gonna sound... hello, Rocky. Welcome to the stream. That ain't gonna sound very fluent in English, but we do have a parable in Bulgaria which says better single than ill accompanied, so to speak. These are the cards, and they do refer to your current situation, like I said, because that is what you need to know right now. So you're dating and about your love life, and you're dating. So that is the subject of the matter. And what they show it is that this person has affection for you. I mean, I don't want to say he loves you, but he definitely likes you, even more than likes you. But your true nature, according to these cards, at least for now, that one will not accept it. Okay, so expect that he will try to change you in a certain way, or to subdue you, or better said, you know, to bend certain things to his will. And also, he has a potency to be very jealous person. Okay, very jealous person. To a point where he may even try to restrict your other contacts. Yeah, and something like that. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, it'll be. That is what you need to know for the current, you know, love situation right now you're finding yourself into. And remember one thing, honesty, it's not candor, right? Honesty does not dictate the whole truth to be told, but only that one that the other side needs to hear in order to function whatever you do have in between you two, not the whole thing. Because there are certain things you can say to him honestly that that person is just not gonna like and will try to change them. Well, you're on the prime of your strength, so choose wisely. I mean, don't kind of like choose on a compromise. At least that's my advice to you as a person, and hopefully as a friend as well. Rocky, thank you for the 27.99 Canadian. Thank you, Rocky. All right, next, Anna. You're welcome, Yalbi. Okay, Anna, those are your cards. By the way, in my classes, that is when I am having the elemental dignity lecture, okay? that is one of the examples I am giving to my students in between these two cards. And in your particular fallout, that is an opportunity that you would really love. Okay, you would really love to be a part of it. It's just, it's not going to be that gainingful, right? In fact, I don't think that you are gonna win much out of it, except it's not gonna be a losing one, but you know, when you draw the line when it comes to material gains, or any gains really that you can translate into the material world, they're gonna be pretty much none. But the satisfaction is going to be great, okay? And it kind of like is gonna feel like your baby, so to speak, something for you to nurture. It's kind of like it's gonna feel like exactly on its place, for lack of better expression. I don't know how to explain it. It will be about money. Make no mistake, it will be about money, some kind of a mutual partnership with the money. Like, for example, it will be about you investing into something, you spending money into something, which, you know, these money are going to return in emotions, but not in any other gains. So whatever opportunities you do have right now to invest, finances, think carefully what you do want out of them, okay? And that doesn't have to relate only to your business, okay? It could be that someone asks you for a loan and you feel that that's the right call and you give the money away and you feel really great that you have helped that guy or that woman, but it's highly unlikely you are going to see those money back. Thank you, Mandy. I'm glad I helped. So that is something you should be careful about, Anna. And last but not least, Rocky. You're welcome. Do you have any such a experience right now, Anna? It's interesting for me to kind of like align the clock, if you know what I mean. All right, Rocky. Those are the cards for you. And it seems that you will experience you will experience a, let's call it that way, difficulties in your social environment. It will have nothing to do with your work. It will have nothing to do even with your love life. It's more about the social environment that you are in, the people that you do kind of like, you know, chat with and hang on and whatnot. And it's kind of like, kind of put it into words. There will be a gaping distance that is going to start forming, because in the next few days you will find less and less, say, topics that you can talk about and that you do share in mind as well. So expect that kind of like some people around you, and they could be very close people as well, for example family members, right, for example neighbors or besties as well, to find your opinions, and even worse, okay, your ideas, even stupid, that they don't make any sense, right? That these ideas or these opinions are just, say, childish. And this is what really is gonna cause that gaping distance, that gaping hole in your friendships or family interactions. Okay, it could be as well, you know, some friends at work, but that is not going to again affect your work or affect your personal well-being, for lack of better words. And that is a transition, if you will, a transition under which only those who are genuine will kind of like stick. The rest, whom are for different reasons around you, aside from because they love you, these people are going to start becoming less and less relevant. That is what you need to know. And of course, you can strive to fix it, which you will be able to, but is it really worth it? Okay. And so you can recognize all that, which relationship worth it and which doesn't. That is the guidance now. I mean, if you know better, by all means. But the guidance says that if someone addresses you with pride, if someone is shy from you, then these people simply don't get you, and you better press into these interactions which there are no such boundaries in, because they are the interactions which matter, and they are the interactions which are gonna, or people which are gonna stand beside you no matter what. The rest, they are always gonna have some kind of a critic to shoot at you just because they don't get you. That is what you need to know right now. And still the cards for you, Rocky, they still carry on the topic of love here. Okay? So if you haven't yet kind of like end up with that person or have no idea whom that person is, they're still around the corner for you, that is. And from the past readings, it was determined that was in your work, I believe. Well, if she does have other options, Anna, then let her take one. Simple as that. But in my experience, when someone tells you that, they think they have other options. Not that they kind of like have those other options in the bag. And they tell you that so you can kind of like increase the payment or the rate or whatever the case. Well, that will be great, Rocky. That will be great. All right, guys. That was all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. And we're going to see each other next time. Until then, bye.